a few days ago I went to, before I came, I've had a great summer. I've been all over the place with the kids, and I went to a place called Blackpool. And for those of you who are not from England, the only way I can describe Blackpool is a cross between New Orleans and old Las Vegas. It's kind of interwoven into it, right? It's not the nicest smelling place. It hasn't got the fanciest and kind of trendy bars, shall we say. It is typically a place where you might go if, and nobody take this the wrong way, if you're financially you can't necessarily afford to go somewhere out of England. Blackpool was the place that you go, right? And it's a fun place. And it's a place that you go, it's got the slot machines, it's got the kids' arcades, the penny arcades, and all these types of things, right? It's rough. It's a rough place to go. So a few weeks ago, we went to the lakes, and to get to the lakes, you have to drive past the sign and say Blackpool. I said to Natalie, we need to go there. She's like, no way, we're not going to Blackpool. I said, we're going to Blackpool. I said, I've wanted to go for a little while. So it's about time we took the kids to Blackpool to show them another side of life, right? And so we went back and we told Natalie's mum and dad. She's probably even watching this. We told Natalie's mum and dad, like, what? You're not going to Blackpool? I said, yeah, we're going to Blackpool. We're going to have a load of fun. We're going to Blackpool. So then we got there, and this is from last weekend. So this is the donkey rides, which is famous in Blackpool. So you go, you pay your money, and the donkeys obviously take the kids on the beach and so on, right? That was on the pier last week. We were having drinks, and that's the weather. So I put that picture up of Grayson in his pushchair. There's a phrase in England, and if somebody asks how you are, and you're not very well or you're not very good, you'll say, I'm as good as a wet weekend in Blackpool. Right? That was a wet weekend in Blackpool, right? So Friday was great. We were on the beach, we were having drinks, it was fun, the sun was out. Sunday or Saturday, it absolutely belted down, and it was cold, it was damp, but we had a great time, and that kind of summed up the two sides to Blackpool. So on the way home, I was talking to Natalie about it. She said, "Come on, then why did you want to go to Blackpool?" I said, "Because since we've left and we live abroad, I have more tendencies to go to what I call an emotional home. I've got emotional places that I want to go back to now. And whether it's to go on certain holidays with my kids that my parents took me on, whether it's to go to restaurants that my parents took me to, I'm finding that I'm going back actually further to do things that my mother and my father did with me when I was a kid because of the gap that's opened up in my life. Of the things that we can do and the things that we can have and the places that we go and the things that we do here in America. That if you'd said to somebody Disney or Blackpool, it's kind of like, it's Mars to the Earth, right? It's like that big of a gap that nobody in their right mind would choose Blackpool over Disney. And I swear I'm equally, if not more happy in Blackpool than I am when I go to Disney. And it's a wonderful thing that's happening to me as time goes on. I'm going back to emotional places. I love going back to England more than ever. I love being home right now more than I probably did when I lived there. Yet when I get there, my immediate response is, what the fuck have I done? Like, why have I come back to this? It's cold, it's damp, I've got no pool in my garden. I have to queue for coffee shops miles away, like there's no convenience for anything. The lifestyle isn't as good, but I'm loving being there because of this thing called an emotional home. And where it's important for you to understand is that's going to happen to you in business. Every one of us has emotional homes that we go back to subconsciously and you don't realize it. Emotional homes are safety. They're great. If you ever feel weak or down or tired, you will find yourself going back to an emotional home. It's a pattern that you'll do, and you need to be aware of it. So where it's relevant for a business owner is that you'll have an emotional home with prices. You have an emotional home with staff. You have an emotional home with marketing. You have an emotional home with aspects of this business that feel safe, but are not good for you. Blackpool is not good for me long term. New Orleans is not good for me long term. New Orleans is good for 2 nights and then get the hell out. Vegas is good for 2 nights and then get the hell out. You get it? I'm not saying New Orleans is not a nice place. I'm getting stared at by somebody from New Orleans. Let's call it like is it Bourbon Street? Like that area, right? Exactly, right? I'm just talking about the center of New Orleans, right? All right, you get the point. We can go there, but we can't stay there. And I think more than anything, you've got, again, if I'm trying to develop the asset is you. And if you're aware of these patterns that are taking you back, this is some of the reason why you won't fire the person you need to fire. This is some of the reason that you keep going back to doctor referrals when you know you need to do Google and Facebook. This is some of the reasons you won't send emails, because a few years ago somebody told you sending emails was bad and it's just easier to do nothing. That's an emotional home that you go back to. The more that you become consciously aware of your emotional homes, the more that you can start to challenge them. And you can go there, but don't stay there. And going back to Blackpool for me with the kids last weekend was a wonderful place to go for one night. But it's probably not somewhere that I'd want to go every month. If I did happen to go every month, it would probably be because I'd start to get frightened about other things. Would be the real reason. I don't want to travel, I'm frightened, or it's just hard work now and it's just inconvenient with the kids. So let's just go to Blackpool because it's easy. Which is code for you're starting to settle. You're starting to go back to the things that you feel safe with and from, but not necessarily the things that are going to help you to grow your life. Can you see the difference? Both are good, neither are bad. The real skill is you understanding why you need to go to each one and asking, is this me going back to my emotional home because it's safe, or it's actually the right decision? That's the judgment that you've got to get.
Thanks for watching this video, and if you found it helpful, and if you now find yourself thinking, I wonder what else this person can help me with, head over to paulgough.com/books, where you can find my best-selling books, which will show you how to add more profit to your practice. Or send an email to paul@paulgough.com to ask about how we can help you accelerate the growth and profitability of your clinic. And by the way, if you know anybody who would find this helpful, please share this video out. Thanks so much.